I'm going to do a quick little discussion about my general ideas. Down the road, Oda has confirmed that Luffy will fight Kaido. We don't know when, we don't know where, but possibly in the Wano arc. I'm assuming that's going to be after the whole business with Whole Cake Island's been wrapped up. We may have to wait a year or two, I don't know, but between now and then, a lot could happen. So, given what we know already about Luffy, and down the road he's going to collide with Big Mom, whether or not I said it's going to be a team effort, maybe, given the current feats that Luffy's had while being on Whole Cake Island. So, as of right now, it's not looking good for him, considering the fact what just happened in the recent chapter. Now, a lot of people are going to say how Luffy was worn out with Cracker. No, as Nami stated, he was at his limit. Yes, but you could also argue the fact, even if Luffy didn't want to fight back, you can't argue the fact that Luffy still could have dodged those hits from Sanji with observation haki. That's, or at least attempted to block him, but he didn't. So a lot of people are considering that Luffy is too worn out. He can't produce haki anymore. That's the reason why he had no choice but to take the hits. Well, if that's the case, then as of right now, Luffy is not ready to go up against any Yonkou by himself. That's the way it looks like right now. But we know that Oda has plans for Luffy versus Kaido. So, and like I said, there's a long way between there and then, and a lot could happen. But before we get to that, I'm just going to give you my thoughts and general ideas, because it could be fun, and especially with a problem future matchup such as Kaido versus Luffy. A lot of people are speculating anyway, so I'm going to give my two thoughts. Obviously, we have to take a lot of info from Whole Cake Island, because as of right now, given what we know about Big Mom, and if Luffy is indeed going to go up against it down the arc, and right now is looking that way. But as Luffy stated, he said he's not going to move from this spot as of right now until Sanji feeds him. Of course, the problem with that is Sanji obviously can't use his hands to cook for him, even if he wanted to. So that may be Oda's way of buying even more time between Luffy to make sure that the collision doesn't happen yet next, because I get the feeling that Luffy isn't at 100% and there's no way he can match up to Big Mom. The second reason why it has to happen is because unless it's an inside job from somebody who betrays either the Vince Smokes or Big Mom or the Big Mom Pirates, Luffy's gonna have to somebody's gonna have to spill the beans about the key, or get the key themselves to free Sanji. That's the way it's gonna have to happen, because that's just a plot twist for Luffy to buy time so he can recuperate, so maybe then he can face off against Big Mom. Now there are some wild cards in this factor. Number one, given what we know about what we don't know about Jinbei at this point in time, I'm assuming he's going to reappear in the arc at some point, because he wanted to leave Big Mom's crew. So I'm assuming there's some pirates are somewhere on their way, so they may help out by the end. I get the feeling that Reiji may side with the Straw Hats, but as of right now, she's kind of neutral. But right now, she's the only one I could think of is actually could assist the Straw Hats in helping Sanji escape. That's just the way it looks right now, unless somebody else steps on the island. But the problem with this is, even if the betrayal comes from the inside, the problem is you have also two commanders. I'm assuming that just as strong as Cracker was. Now the fight between Luffy and Cracker is a big reason why Luffy is not ready for a Yonkou, despite the fact how he won. Well, number one, a lot of people could argue, if it was a one-on-one fight, could Luffy possibly have taken down Cracker by himself? The obvious answer right now is probably not, given the fact how Cracker was able to pierce Gear 4. Because that Gear 4 was impenetrable to even Doflamingo, and their attacks worked on Luffy pretty much. But when Cracker attacked him, he stabbed Luffy through the arm while he was in Gear 4. So that was impressive as well. And yes, Luffy did pull out Tank Man in the end, and that's another point I'm going to bring up about this and whether or not it'll be used in the fight against Big Mom, because that only happened because Luffy was stuffing himself with biscuits that were watered down by Nami, and that's another problem too. If Nami wasn't there, would things have changed? Probably not. I think down the road Luffy might have taken down Cracker, but for it to take up 11 hours from the recharge into Gear 4, that again, it doesn't look promising if Luffy plans to go up against Big Mom or even Kaido down the road by himself. I doubt by himself now, unless he unleashes something even monstrous to Gear 4, and that's the point I'm going to get to in a minute. With all that's going on right now, relates to Sanji, what he's going to go through right now, because the Vince are going to meet up with the Big Mom Pirates, and then we're going to have the wedding. The moment that happens, Sanji's no longer going to become a Straw Hat, so Luffy's between a rock and a hard place. He says he's going to go on a hunger strike until Sanji gets back, but as of right now, it doesn't look like Sanji's going to come back unless he's forced to by Reiju, because we've seen this before. Reiju's assisted Sanji in escaping the island before. She does have some concern. She's not showing as much as she'd like to, obviously because of his brothers and Judge being there as well. But Sanji obviously breaking down is a major turning point, and we knew right from the get-go that it was an emotional battle to begin with anyway. But that's not here. We can move on now, and we can move on to. I'm gonna make this quick about Big Mom, because right now Luffy could bust out a new mode if he wants in Gear 4. I think it's more probable now for him to have a new mode. Well, go up against the Yonkou. I don't know if he's going to take on any of the two commanders. Probably not, because if he had a tough time just going up against Cracker, not 100%, he's going to get his ass whooped again, and that's not help his chances. If Oda does have his thoughts, any ideas at all of him going against Kaido, we know he does have something in mind about that. And not only that, the fact that in the current opening in the anime, Kaido versus Luffy, it's there. It's heightened by the end of the opening. You have also Zoro and Sanji taking on Jack. Possible future matchups. I don't know. It may be Toei's way of foreshadowing this, because it's going to be a while, even from the manga standpoint, if we even reach Wano. However, I will bring that up now, because that was mentioned a couple of chapters ago as well, only for a brief moment, but when I guess we got a flashback when Vito or Tomago was talking with Sanji, and they mentioned about about Luffy, Nami, Chopper, and Brook on their way to Whole Cake Island to sort that situation out. But we also got confirmation that the Wano side of things, with Law, Zoro, Robin, Usopp, and the rest of the samurai are already on Wano, for what we understand. So, and a lot of time has passed since then anyway, so we don't know what's going on right now. They said they was going to wait until Luffy joins up with them. I don't think that's the case right now, given the fact what's happening with Zoe, with Apu coming to Zoe, obviously a subordinate of Kaido. We know Jack's still alive. He's obviously going to make a reappearance at some point. And we also know that Kid is under custody with Kaido. So I don't know if he's going to bump into Law or the rest of Wano Kuni boys. There's already predictions of the Supernovas teaming up as the worst generation. And given the fact that the seeds already been planted, Capone may even betray Big Mom. I don't think it's any. It wouldn't be a surprise if Apu, Hawkins, maybe Kid would join with their alliance and try to take down Kaido himself. Although they're going to get wrecked if they try. Even if Law and Zoro do show up on Wano to help out, and that's obviously where things will escalate. Again, we've got a long time before that goes down, but these are just general ideas. Now, if Luffy I don't know if Oda's got in mind that Luffy's going to fight Big Mom by himself. I'd like to think that he will, just because of the people. if he can go up against Yonkou, that may increase his chances, but common sense will tell you that as of right now, that's not happening. Because Luffy's not ready unless, and if he does unleash a new mode while being in Gear 4, will it be enough to take down Big Mom? Because even if he goes in Pound Man, that's temporary, and he's going to have to make sure that to get the job done in one strike if he can get that chance, which I don't think Big Mom's that stupid to let Luffy get that chance. But then again, Doflamingo was under the same boat. He was unbelievably strong and he was precise as well, but he underestimated Luffy at the end, and that's what cost him. So I don't know if that's going to be a situation with Big Mom. And I've already said, just because she has power, and we've learned more about Big Mom's abilities since then. That she's able to produce thunderclouds in one hand, and she's able to produce the sun in the other. And she's also able to cause a storm just by throwing a hissy fit. Because one of the commanders, when a rogue took a that, or Rouge, when a Rouge took one of the sweet commanders, Big Mom was aware of this. She had a fit and she caused the storm because of it. So I don't know if that's Devil Fruit related or if that's a special exception to Big Mom. But obviously, right now, the moment she gets word that Cracker got taken down, what do you think is going to happen? And keep in mind, we also have the gift that came from Fisherman, all the way from Fisherman Island to arrive to Big Mom, and it's a box full of explosives that's going to blow up in her face. So that's going to instigate the ongoing battle between Luffy and Big Mom. Again, I don't know how Oda's going to structure it, whether Luffy's going to fight Big Mom by himself by the end, or if Luffy's going to team up with either Jinbei or Sanji, or possibly both, because it could be a team effort, much like it was a team effort to take down Oars back at Thriller Bark, and there are some similarities with Thriller Bark and Whole Cake Island. So I don't know if Big Mom's going to use all the soul she absorbs and use it to power herself up against Luffy if she needs to. But in terms of combat ability, would Luffy have the upper hand in a one-on-one fight? That's the message I'm trying to get across, because as of right now, I don't think so. But we know down the road that Luffy's going to have to get stronger. So what if, and this is just a thought, what if, and I know a lot of people have predicted this already, but I'm just going to go on a limb and say it. It looks to me like if Luffy fights Kaido, by then Luffy may unlock Gear 5th. By then, the possibility of that is even higher now, given the fact that Luffy has not only used Gear 4 in his arc. I personally thought he was going to save that for Big Mom, but he had to use it on a commander, not only a commander, one of the top 3 commanders, and that's not even the strongest. So, you take your pick, and not only that, he's able to. He had to use not just Pound Man, but also Tank Man as well, a new mode that we haven't seen yet to this point. So I don't know if he's going to unleash a new mode while being in Gear 4, or if even that's going to be enough to take down Big Mom. But if Luffy goes into Gear 5th, maybe that'll even things out a little bit, maybe. But even that, it's hard to say what it will look like, honestly, because obviously there's nothing but theories. But this is another one, and it's a possible theory. And if Luffy is eventually going to face up against Kaido, I think it makes perfect sense. I don't know if that means that Luffy's going to fight Big Mom by himself, though. But we'll just have to wait and see what Oda comes up with. I'm hyped to see the fact that he had Gear 4 already going up against Kaido. That was hype enough in the anime. But other than that, we don't know what's going to happen. That's down to Oda. These are just my thoughts. Thoughts of mine. Let me know yours down below if you're hyped, because it's eventually going to happen. But what happens between now and then is up to Oda. I can't wait to see what happens next, especially what's going on right now on Whole Cake Island. The current chapter we just had is obviously one of the best chapters of the year thus far. Maybe one of the best chapters in One Piece, period. just because of the impact that it had not only the Straw Hats, but as one hardcore One Piece fans. That was as good as the chapters you're going to get. It obviously resembles the fight between Luffy and Usopp back in the day at Water 7, although the fact that Luffy didn't fight back. Now, I'm not too sure. Now, I will give the benefit as due. It may be not a question of Luffy couldn't, he wouldn't fight back, even if he wanted to, because that may be, it's obviously Luffy's maturity for the situation, that his experience with Usopp, he doesn't want to experience the same thing with Sanji. And obviously, he already knew that Sanji was full of crap with everything that he said. So that's more faith. Even though Sanji's in a tough bind right now, he still has faith in Sanji that he'll come back. So that's the maturity of Luffy. So I don't know. Maybe Luffy will pull it out in the end. Obviously, he will. But how he's able to do that, I'm real curious right now, because the way the things are going right now, it doesn't look good for Luffy at all. He's going on a hunger strike and waiting for Sanji. So I get the feeling that's nothing more than a plot twist to stall the fight between Luffy and Big Mom. It's going to happen down the road at some point. There's been way too much build up for it not to. So that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you did. Send your comments and thoughts in the comments. Comment, rate, subscribe. Catch you guys later. Bye.